Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis live, but he's on vacation today. Oh my gosh, how are you? I'm so sorry I was a little bit late. One of my kids has had a couple of my kids have had allergies so bad the last couple of weeks. So is my husband, but my husband has year-round allergies. So he's used to, and we're used to all the nose blowing and everything that comes along with that. But one of our kids, when she gets congestion, it just goes to her chest. So I felt like she really wasn't wheezing, but I could tell that the congestion just wasn't coming up and everything. So got her into the doctor first thing this morning. And, she didn't say that she had a chest congestion or infection, but she gave her a Z-Pack, some cough liquid that I have to pick up after this because they thought it was out of stock, but it's not, and an albuterol thing. So we were trying to read the albuterol thing because she hasn't had that since she was I don't even know, 4 years old. I have no idea, a long time. And it's all different now because when she was a kid, it was this plastic mouthpiece, thing that went over and she had to kind of like breathe in the stuff. So now that she's older, she can take the thing. But anyways, we had to read it also. And then I was like, my cameras were all turned around on my TikTok, on my iPhone. They were all turned around. I was like, oh my gosh, like what the heck is going on? Okay, I am going to share the code real quick. I do not have it on. If somebody wants to come on and ask a question or a comment, as we know, Jeff Lewis is on vacation in Hawaii this week. So, I don't know when he comes back, actually. I say this week, meaning the rest of the week, he will be having replays of Jeff Lewis live. So we get to banners. I'm doing all the things. Okay. Hello, everybody. I love that y'all are getting to know each other. Some of y'all have been with me like the whole 2.5 years, almost 3 years, y'all. In June 2022 is when I first had the random idea to go Instagram live. And now it's almost June 2025. So almost 3 years of doing this, 5, mostly 6 days a week without fail, pretty much. So, oh my gosh, I just love how much we've gotten to know each other so much. So today is going to be a free-for-all. I do have some stuff. I asked what y'all want to talk about. Y'all definitely want to talk more about Beverly Hills reunion. We had a lot to say about that yesterday. There's still so much to say. We want to chat about the craziness of the White Lotus. This Sunday is episode 8, which is the season finale. Somebody needs to let Andy Cohen know that because I was just listening to their episode from today. My loon is right beside me. And he thought John was telling him there was 9 episodes of The White Lotus, and this was only episode 8 this Sunday. And I'm like, no. Yes, Sarah says we are OGs, Sarah. There's so many of y'all that are here and so many that are newbies. Kimberly J says, I broke up with Jeff Lewis live a year ago, but love you and this crew so much. I'm here for all the fun stuff. Oh my God. Well, I love that you've stayed around. Maybu said, you've rode the waves with you and you came out the other end, Sarah, and we're still here. Okay, y'all don't make me cry today. Oh my goodness. Oh, is it a 90-minute White Lotus? I did hear it was extra long, but I didn't hear it was quite an hour 30. I think it's a little less than 90 minutes, but that's okay. Yes, Sarah says, say what you like about Heather McDonald, but that's how I found Jeff Lewis and Sarah from Texas. Oh my gosh, shout out. I did try to go on a walk a little bit ago. It was so windy outside. I always wear one AirPod whenever I take a walk. If I'm not with a friend, if I'm with a friend, we just talk the whole time. But if I'm listening to something, I only do one AirPod in. That way I can hear with the other side and make sure I'm safe and all that. It was so windy. I couldn't even hear Andy Cohen live. So my feet were hurting. I think I do not want to do this bunions. I don't want to do the bunion surgery at all. But I'm really thinking it is really starting to hurt just normally doing stuff. I think I have a combination. I think I have bunions on both feet, like certifiable x-rays. the the podiatrists have looked at him and said, OMG, I can't believe you're still walking around. I'm like, oh yeah. But on my right foot a couple of months ago, probably 3-ish months ago, I was walking in some sandals that have kind of a wedge, a straight wedge, and I just slipped to the side of it inside going into a building. I was more embarrassed, but I also skinned my left knee because I had a dress on. And then I thought I really hurt my little pinky toe and that kind of area. But now it's like the middle, like if your foot is like this, it's like this part of the outer edge of my right foot has been very painful. So I don't know what to do. I mean, he did x-rays on both feet. I did ask about, because I think I mean, if I don't have every foot problem in the world, I swear to you, I'm definitely getting plantar fasciitis again on the bottom of my left foot. My left foot. But I also feel like I have a bone spur on the left foot. So then the back of the foot is hurting. The 2 bunions are hurting. The bunions were never hurting when I was just walking. It was mostly, I was realizing when I do squats and not squats, when I do lunges or when I wear high heels, when I'm putting that pressure on my foot, where the bunion would be, the big toe, bending, the pain is so bad. So I finally realized I do need to go ahead and do the surgery. I just don't know if I can wait. I booked it for after Labor Day weekend in September. A lot of y'all did both feet for the bunions. They definitely don't recommend that anymore. I don't think they'll recommend both feet for me. But I'm also, the plantar fasciitis kind of reeks its ugly head. This will be the 3rd time that I've had it when I'm either very pregnant, so I've gained a lot of weight, or I've gained weight. So I had it a couple of years ago also, and I pretty much took like 6 weeks off from working out, which was really hard on me. Gained like 16 pounds literally in that 6 weeks. And then I ended up being the heaviest ever. And this was like from like 2023. When did that start? No, I've lost my weight since then. I've always been like ups and downs since I've been, later adult. I lost all of that weight. And then in 2024, I started gaining weight again. So it's just crazy. Y'all are telling me I should do them both together. Oh my gosh. Bev says, what do you do for plantar fasciitis? OMG. First of all, when I had it in both feet, when my last baby, so I had 5, I had a newborn, a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and an 8-year-old. Okay. And I went to the doctor at 2 months old, or when the baby was 2 months old. And I was like, something's wrong with my feet. I had no idea what it was. Well, you can't see plantar fasciitis. Basically, from what I've been told the couple of times that I've had it now, they don't exactly know why it comes on or how to exactly make it go away. A lot of times it is sudden weight gain. So anyone that's overweight or anyone that is pregnant can get it. But basically for me, it's about keeping my calves stretched out. So it's the calf. I have a really big calves. That is somehow related to the bottom of your foot and that fascia that's on the bottom. So for me, I would literally be at a restaurant, and for the 30 minutes or an hour that I'd be sitting down at a restaurant, when I got up, my first 6 or 7 steps of walking on the bottoms of my feet were like I was crippled. The pain was agonizing. If you were just sitting there, there was no pain. But the second you just sat there, it was awful. I've also had ingrown toenail surgery. My feet are just, woo! Oh my gosh. So, basically a couple years ago when I got it and when I was also took off from working out, I was stretching my foot and stretching my calves like it was a full-time job, which it is. It's literally keeping your calves stretched out so much. You really, Candace, why didn't you tell me that? Candace said, I just had both my feet done on Monday. Wait, the bunion surgery? Somebody in 2025 is doing both bunions at one time? I mean, I just don't think they will. But I have a very high pain tolerance. Oh, ingrown toenails. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. That noise, the noise from an ingrown toenail. So the first and only time I've had an ingrown toenail fixed at a podiatrist. I was 22-ish years old. I was training for a marathon, for my first marathon, London Marathon. Went to a podiatrist, didn't know what was wrong with my toe, thought it was an infection, something, whatever. And he tells me it's an ingrown toenail. In the room, I could hear other toe clips. And I thought, oh my gosh. I mean, I was so young, so naive. I thought, oh my gosh, this must be old people that can't, they're in a wheelchair or they're bedbound. They can't cut their own toenails. It was, I will go to my grave with the sound of the toe cutting, the clip of an ingrown toenail. If you've been there, done that, you know what I'm talking about. And it is not a beautiful thing. But I thought they were cutting their toenails like straight across because they couldn't. And I thought, oh, you have to go to the doctor to do that. You know what I mean? No, they are cutting other stuff. It's so gross. Yeah, I've had the cortisone shots. I've done the $500 plant foot inserts, the custom inserts. I did the thing where they put the needles all over you, whatever that's called. I did physical therapy. I did some, one time I got a plantar's wart or something on the bottom of my foot. That was something I had to put some cream on, like some expensive lotion. It was some cream that had to go away. I mean, I have the weirdest foot problems. It's so weird. But yeah, for the plantar fasciitis, it is a horrific, horrific pain. It is really hard to walk on the hardwood floors. That's why I'm wearing tennis shoes full time. I got the slip-on mule tennis shoes. Sarah, I don't even want to say it. Sarah says, I need to hear the toenail sound. Cutting what, if not the nail? Flesh? Question mark. Yeah. Oh, let's just say, if you've also ever had a cortisone shot in your foot, there's no fat on your foot. It's like the slimmest. This, besides my wrists, I have very tiny wrists. Don't know why. I have pretty small fingers, especially there. Like, this is my wedding ring from 1999, or my wedding engagement 99, and it's like a 4.5. I don't even know. It's tiny. I've never had to move up or anything, but I have tiny fingers. Yeah, but my feet, having a shot go in your foot when you have no anything. Yes, I do. And you have to get, it's like deep tissue. I've also been to a Rosti where they do like deep tissue chiropractic care for your feet. Margaret says, plantar fasciitis, you have to massage your heels every night. To me, it's not my heel. It's about 2 inches into my foot of the heel. You know what I mean? But I do the whole darn thing. Rub my foot either on an ice water bottle, or you can rub on a tennis ball. I actually use a lacrosse ball, which is an orange, much harder ball. I don't know. Raquel says, did this run in the family? What causes to have that in your feet? I definitely have bunions from my dad. I remember that. At least one of my children I've seen has bunions. So that's sad, because I don't think I noticed it, when I was younger, that I ever had bunions. I just thought the pain was what everyone had. I didn't realize I wore high heels. I ran marathons in my 20s. Like, I had no idea that anyone had, I thought feet were painful. Like, I just did. But I'm now 52. I think I told some of y'all I was on a hike Sunday with one of my daughters, and it was more of a hike, like more rugged. So it was more rocks and up and down and hills and that kind of thing. My big toe on my left foot was hurting almost immediately, because there's something about just pushing. I think when you have bunions, you're only using your 4 other toes, so you don't really have the stability. But it's like a 3-month process to recover. Like, I'm trying to lose weight. I love working out. I want to keep working out. But like I said, even on my walk today, it was painful. And I'm like, geez Louise. No Plain Jane says, oh, and don't get me started on carpal tunnel. I've had surgery on my right hand, now waiting on the left. Now, that I don't think I have, but they're thinking that I have a little bit of arthritis in my right bunion foot. So yeah, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Sarah, you're so young. You're so young. Oh my goodness. Okay. Lisa, I know. Are y'all okay? Were there tornadoes or tornado warnings in Kentucky? There's been a lot of really bad weather lately around the world. It's actually kind of scary. I could swim. You're right, Christina. I really need to take advantage of my swimming pool. We also have an indoor pool at the gym, but that's like filled with so much chlorine and oof. But I should take advantage of my pool and now the weather's really nice for exercise. That's a great idea. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, I do have some fun tonight, though. I do have a birthday dinner to go to tonight, so a really good restaurant. I'm looking forward to that. It is a kind of a group because there's two. I mean, it's definitely a group, but two of us. We're celebrating both of our birthdays, and this one is a really good friend of mine. So we already went to dinner once with another friend just for my birthday, and then in a week or two, I don't know when the date is on that. We're going to Taylor Tomlinson. With all the couples. So that'll be fun. That's that's what she wanted to do because her husband loves Taylor Tomlinson. She and her husband both love Taylor Tomlinson. I had actually never heard of this comedian, but Zach Noe Towers apparently opens for her sometimes. Oh, you know what? He won't be opening. You know why? Because it's during ChumpCon. That's right. It must not be this coming weekend, but the next. So it's one of those Friday, Saturday. It's one of those nights. So he won't be there because it's part of that. Anyways, so that should be really fun. But tonight I get to get dressed up and, pull my hair down. I'm going to put makeup on. I don't even have any foundation. Remember when I dropped my foundation a few weeks ago? I never replaced it because I had some tinted serum that I'd bought off like Amazon. Well, the tinted serum doesn't even have a color name, but it's too light for my color. It makes my face look like I have white face on. So I can't even wear that. I might have to run up to Ulta after this or Target. Oh my gosh. Oh my good. Yeah, I need to run to Ulta. I do need, and they'll tell me what color I need. You know what I mean? Like I really try to sunscreen my face and try to get a little bit of color on my arms and, body. But yeah, I really do. What are y'all talking about? Charlie? What is that? Cecile says Charlie said that was the first time he had done reality TV. I guess, Charlie Sheen from Denise Richards' show. I guess they tried to get him to do the Housewives. Well, and whatever's coming out with all this nonsense about his oldest daughter, Sammy, that they haven't talked in 5 months. She doesn't want to talk to him. Because remember, she left Denise's house and went and lived with Charlie for a while when she was like 18. That had to be a little bit nerve-wracking, right? Oh my gosh. Is it good? I watched like 2, maybe 4 episodes. I don't know. I don't think I loved it. You know what I mean? Don't think I loved it. I forget where I got. Plus, they kept bringing on like Housewives. I'm like, oh, stop bringing on Erica Jane and stop bringing the Housewives on. Speaking of Housewives, okay. And by the way, if you want, press the StreamYard button. If anybody wants to come on with a question or comment, we've got all day to do this and tomorrow's reality water cooler too. We can chat about whatever y'all want to chat about. So if you're on TikTok or Instagram and you want to get in the comments or you want to come on live, join me on my YouTube channel at Sarah from Texas Podcast. Sonia Morgan surprised us last night. So last night, Carl and Madison were on Watch What Happens Live. They were really cute together. Of course, Madison's all big and pregnant. So cute. Love Madison. But at the end of it, you know how every once in a while they'll have a surprise? Sonia Morgan came out all dressed up. She had this, thing on her head, kind of promoting her Sonia Morgan Live show. But don't forget, just recently, a couple of people were calling into Jeff Lewis Live. They called into Andy Cohen a couple of times, wrote in and said, hey, I was at Sonia Morgan's live event, and she was talking about your dad. She basically said he's not doing well. And Andy's like texting, first Andy Cohen's like, my dad is doing well. Like he just had knee replacement. He's doing very well. He is older, but don't be talking about my dad. So he sends a text over to Sonia Morgan. Is like, hey, people are telling me you're talking about my dad. And so she kind of blew it off. He said like, oh, I love your dad. And Andy Cohen's like, well, good, because he loves you too, but kind of like, stop the bullshit. Stop talking about my dad. You know what I mean? I don't know. How do you know that? Raquel says Denise's show has higher ratings than the other Bravo shows. So I think it will be coming back for a season 2. I don't love it. the episodes that I've seen so far. And I watched her show with her dad, and when the two little girls were little, I really liked it. I just don't like this one. It just seems very fake and produced to me. And, I just don't love, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I'm just not loving it. I'm just not. Michael Riley's laying out by the pool. Look at you living the high life. Oh my goodness. Probably had food delivered. He's probably getting his hair cut professionally done today. Yeah, Mayboo says Andy Cohen has favorites, and they're certainly not the ones that I would choose. I mean, Sonia Morgan's a favorite. Dorinda is definitely a favorite. I mean, he definitely has favorites for sure. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. Sarah says, what do y'all think about Denise Richards' partner? It's her husband, Aaron. Yes, is his name. What do y'all think about him? I mean, there's been some lawsuits, but when you're involved in the medical or, when you have a business, a lot of people can sue, or some people can take that opportunity to sue. So I think people have sent me lawsuits that he's been gone through, but he does some sort of Eastern medicine, it's not like chiropractic, but it's some sort of, I don't really know what he does. I don't think he's a chiropractor. He does some sort of medical something or other to get people in like their spiritual, and, I don't really know what he does. You know what I mean? I did. Tracy says, did you see Gia Giudice talking about Bethany Frankel? So Bethany Frankel, let's defend Teresa. Bethany came out and made a video first, basically saying, oh, Teresa, like, I see the medical problem. Like we see the lawsuit about the tax money. Like we saw the red flags. We knew this was going to happen. You didn't want a prenup. We should feel like, what's the thing? Feel bad for me once. The second time, we don't feel bad for you at all. You know what I mean? And then Gia Giudice has a podcast out, and she was like, apparently talking about Bethany, like, my mom's fine. Don't talk about my mom. And then Bethany came back and did another video today, I think, saying, I usually don't talk about this stuff, but Gia, and it was basically like, I don't even know which one is Gia. I know she has like a couple of daughters, multiple daughters. She's like, I haven't watched the show since like she, flipped the table and, Joe got all mad at the baby thing. And I was just like, okay, she has 4 kids. Like, give me a freaking break. Like, you've got your thumb. You got your thumb on the Bravo for sure. Wait, what? Heather says, I'm looking out for 4 feet of snow covered in thick ice from an ice storm yesterday, but God bless you in Orlando. Dang, that is a lot of snow. Remind me where you live, Heather. Jeez Louise, 4 feet of snow. Oh my gosh. What else do y'all want to talk about? Oh, Christina says school was 2 hours late today because of the snowstorm. I don't even think, y'all know I'm really bad about watching news though. Yeah, Gia is the oldest. What are her kids? Obviously, there's Melania. I always forget their kids' names. The last one is, she's Louise. I'm forgetting. I mean, I watched that one get born on TV and I'm forgetting her name. Can't remember that one's name. Anyways, I did finally listen yesterday. My day got away from me, and I listened to Andy Cohen live from today. I think I thought because on Tuesday he left a little bit early and said that he was going down to Sarasota, Florida. Well, he had some event where he was probably getting paid a very pretty penny, because he definitely didn't say it was volunteer donation, but some sort of event for Jewish people, because he was saying I was down with my people, and in Sarasota, Florida. So I assume maybe they had pre-recorded this show yesterday, but no, it was done at some point with John and Andy and Bevy and Sandy all in a studio together. And it was actually really, really good. Like, trust me, I don't love Sandra Bernhard on the radio. I definitely don't relate to Bevy. Like, she just seems to be, I used to listen to her when her dad was sick and she would talk about her dad and like visiting him. Now I just don't make time to listen to her at all. But anyways, it was a really good episode. Just, talking about Andy's kids and then them together and how they would do their show. Sandra Bernhard is very busy, just had open heart surgery in like January. So she's recovering from that. Yes, Claire says Sarah was Luann de Lesseps good. Abso-freaking-lutely. Like, there's still videos on my grid if you scroll all the way down. The first time my friends and I flew from Houston to New York City to see her, it was around it was actually early December, if I remember. God, I'm forgetting. Anyways, a couple years ago at, what's it called? 42. Room 42. What's it called? This old school, like, venue in New York City, like, where a lot of people go. And then, yes, Gabriella's one of them. And then what's the fourth girl's name? What's the fourth Judice? Oh my gosh. Anyways, so good, very entertaining. And then a couple of years ago, one of those same friends and I flew to Atlanta and saw Luann de Lesseps there. So good again. And you just see that she's getting bigger and bigger stadiums. Like, she is touring a lot. So, it's like, yeah, is she a housewife? Yeah, but she's really made this show her own. And as we know, Sonia is the one that first, well, no. Did Sonia first do a show, or did Countess Luann? I guess it was Countess Luann, and that's whenever he had like Sonia on there to help. But I don't think Sonia was very good. Like, she used to have a bunch of housewives come on with her. And basically one of the directors of her show said, look, you can do this on your own. Like, you can sell these tickets on your own, and then you don't have to worry about paying them. Because remember, like, Sonia was saying she didn't pay her, or only paid her a very little bit. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I love that. Sarah says, I think Luann is such an inspiration for changing your life at a later age and being a strong woman. I love that. I think so too. And don't forget, she was arrested, she was drunk and all that, which reminds me, I have a piece of it. I have a question. Some advice did get emailed to me at asksarahfromtexas@gmail.com. Not going to read you the whole thing because this person got into some specifics. So I want to talk about that in 1 second, though. 1 second. Okay, Beverly Hills Reunion Part 1. Did we cover everything the other day? Are we still surprised that Garcelle is leaving? I feel like somebody called into Andy Cohen today, and they kind of said what I'm thinking is, okay, we saw Garcelle and Erica on the reunion. They didn't seem all that mad with each other. And now all of a sudden, when Garcelle was on Watch What Happens Live a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, F Erica Jane. Well, then the next week, Erica Jane was on and was basically, I don't know, just kind of giving the silent treatment about, she certainly wasn't sad that Garcelle was leaving. She certainly wasn't saying, oh, I wish her well. I mean, it was a very harsh, definitely, when she was on, it was very harsh for sure. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I love that. A lot of y'all are saying that, that Countess Luann is an inspiration. I love that. I mean, and that Sonia Morgan is such a car crash. I mean, absolutely. And she was no different on Watch What Happens Live last night. Like, he was trying to get her involved in some game, and she was like answering the questions all weird. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, in Canada, a mountain on top of an island. Oh, there's islands in Canada? Like, you know what I think of islands? I think of islands as like warm tropical weather. I can't believe islands get snow. And I'm going to sound so stupid for saying that, but I really never knew that. Are y'all telling me there's islands that get snow in Canada? Is that what y'all mean? I mean, obviously on top of a mountain. Okay. So confused. So confused. Ooh, Anne says Erica has a lot of lawsuits coming her way. Uh-oh. Oh, Vancouver's an island? I never even thought about that. Vancouver Island. Okay. Never even thought about that. Yeah, exactly. Sarah says, I wonder what Quincy Morgan, who is Sonia Morgan's only child, thinks of her mom. You've got to be worried. I mean, she's like maybe 25. I'm not real sure. Okay. Heather lives on an island. Okay. PEI is an island in Canada and a province. Okay. Oh, Montreal is an boy. Okay. Sorry. I don't know geometry. Geometry. I don't know geometry or geology. Not geology. That's rocks. Okay, I don't know any of those. Okay, in high school, I failed one semester of geometry, and the next semester when I had to make it up, I pretty much had my boyfriend, who was really smart at the time, do all my homework, so I passed. Then geology, for some reason, I didn't even remember this at the time, but when I was becoming a teacher and I had to get all of my transcript to turn in to take the test for teaching, I saw that I had an F in geology in college. And I literally, being the mom that I am, because this is probably, 7, 8 years ago. Gosh, I've been out of teaching so long, and I did it for 5 years. Anyways, but I remember like gathering my kids around and saying, look, here's my college transcript. And I made an F in geology. And I said, by the way, when you're in college, you have the opportunity to pull from a class if you know you're not doing well, if you're going to fail. I said, I don't even know why I kept taking this class, why I got the F. I said, but I didn't even remember it. It was just basically a lesson of like, keep going. Don't let things get you down. Don't let, as a mom, we worry that one thing is going to stumble our kids. And I would just let them know, hey, I failed this geology class. It didn't prevent me from graduating college in 4 years. I got a job right out of college. I'm married. I have 5 children. Like, I'm good. But yeah, geography. Yes, geography is what I'm not good in. Geography. That is like stuff. He's got an ology. Remember the ads? No, that's funny. Geology? No. Geography? No. Geometry? No. It snows in Hawaii? See, I've never been. I have no idea. No idea. Okay. The advice, and then we're going to move on to other stuff because I've got lots of other news and such, and we can talk about whatever y'all want. So again, if you want to come on with a question or comment, just hit that StreamYard. It's super easy. You can do it on a phone. You can do it. It doesn't make you sign up for anything. It doesn't cost any money. It's just like coming on for an Instagram live or something like that on my YouTube. Okay, the advice. The overall question is, how do you build authentic confidence and self-esteem? Okay, so they gave a lot more details, basically saying, socially, I'm fine. Like, I have friends, I go out, all those things, but professionally, I'm really finding it difficult to work. I just can't, I don't have the confidence. I don't feel like people want to pay me, even though I have, this person has 2 college degrees. They don't have the confidence to move forward with that. I want to know your thoughts. The word that got to me, though, was the authentic. Because I think so many people, and I think of celebrities, I think of actors, I think of influencers, YouTubers that we think are so confident, they have all this self-esteem, and then behind it, they're a nervous wreck, or they're drinking, or they're doing whatever their thing is that is making things worse. Because a lot of times, if we don't have the confidence or we don't have the self-esteem to do the things that we want to do, a lot of times it's either what came first, the chicken or the egg. There's a crutch that we've taken on that is causing that lack of confidence and self-esteem, or because we don't have the authentic confidence and self-esteem, we've gotten a crutch, which can be anything, right? Overeating, undereating, drinking alcohol, doing drugs, working out too much. I mean, all imposter syndrome. Wow, that's so true. Katrina says, we all have imposter syndrome to some degree. Speak it into existence. Oh my gosh, I love that. Is imposter syndrome like where we're putting out something really good on social media, but yet it's not really what's going on? What exactly is imposter syndrome? Or is it where we're worried about what other people think? Like, we think of ourselves as one way, but we know that other people might see us a certain way, or we see each other as different. Remind me what imposter syndrome is. If anyone wants to come on and talk to me about that, I would love to hear what you have to say. Yeah. Oh, Kimberly J says codependency recovery. It will help with confidence. So being dependent on other people too is a real thing for sure. It means that you don't think that you're good enough. Okay, so that's imposter syndrome. Okay. Yeah, Tracy says, but I think a lot of people we don't, what is it called? Body dysmorphia that Jeff Lewis talks about having. I'm seeing a lot of that term, body dysmorphia, in the Facebook group that I'm in for the weight loss medication, because people are like, I still, even though I just tried on these size 10 jeans that I haven't been this size since middle school, they're thinking they still look like the size 20 that they were. So body dysmorphia, where I know I'm smaller, but I have the opposite of that. Literally. I literally see myself sometimes as smaller than I actually am. So then I see a picture of myself or see what size clothes or bra that I have to buy. And I'm like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you for telling me. Okay. Deborah says, watch this week's episode of Humble Brag with Dorinda. So Humble Brag is usually uh Cynthia and Crystal. So why is Dorinda on it? They talk about imposter syndrome. It's really good. Okay, so that's a good advice. But I don't think that's depending. I think that's okay. Lisa says, I depend on my ex-husband to cut my grass for me. I mean, I think that's okay. He's helping you out and he lives right down the road. What is dystonia? Sarah says, I have severe dystonia apparently because I was chronically obese as a kid. I don't know what dystonia is, so let me know what that is, Sarah. What else? Very interesting. Yeah. Oh, dysmorphia. Dysmorphia? Yeah. Katrina says, we see ourselves as not being as good as you really are. Affirmations in your mirror work great, or positive posts. It's on your mirror where, writing positive things. That's a good thing to do. Or maybe, she meant dysmorphia. Okay. So let me read that again. I have severe dysmorphia because I was chronically obese as a kid. So exactly what a lot of these people in the Facebook group that I'm in about the weight loss medication is people that don't see themselves the size that they are because they used to be heavier. You know what I mean? It happens a lot at work. Tracy says imposter syndrome happens a lot at work. I work in tech and have for many years. I still worry that someday people will discover I'm not good enough, even though I really am. So this is exactly what the person that messaged me about, that emailed me this question. How do you build authentic confidence and self-esteem? The authentic word is what got to me because I feel like the other details that this person told me lead me to think that they could be overall depressed. I think general depression and coupled with anxiety, which I realize some people have depression and anxiety. Some people have depression only. Some people have anxiety only. But what I'm learning is finding the right fix for that and understanding that taking a pill and that a medication or counseling or a combination of both is okay. And I think that's something that we haven't been able to talk about openly in so long, like ever. So I feel like if everyone would just talk about that, I know we see more commercials and, people talk about it on TV, and especially I feel like after the worldwide pandemic, a lot more people opened up about depression and anxiety and are being more honest about it. But I've always said as a mom, if I need to find a new pediatric dentist for my kids, there's no shame or embarrassment of asking in a Facebook group, hey, I need to find a recommendation for a pediatric dentist. But you almost never see anyone not doing it without the anonymous tag saying, hey, I would like to find a counselor for my child. I would like to find a psychiatrist for my child. You know what I mean? So, I really do. I do too, Debbie. Debbie says, I have the opposite of body dysmorphia. I think I look smaller than I really am. And when I see myself in a picture, I'm horrified. But I do think that's real. I think it's equally as bad because it is body dysmorphia. So seeing ourselves in the true light that we are and loving ourselves, no matter the size, is where we all have our goals to be, right? Anyways, I would love to hear your thoughts on that for sure. Okay, Mayboo wants to talk about Lisa and Harry's podcast, which I only listened to that one time. It took a lot for her to get to that. She really hyped up the name of it, like, I'm going to tell Andy Cohen exactly what I think. Well, Mayboo says, I'm giving up on Lisa and Harry's podcast. I've tried, but dear Lord, it's boring. So, again, someone else that thinks, oh, I'm famous, I can do a podcast, people want to listen. Look, there are so many podcasts. There's only 24 hours in a day. Everyone can add 1,000 podcasts a day, but we only get 24 hours. Like nobody's adding any more time to us. So just like reality TV, I have to pick and choose what I want because there's only 24 hours in a day. Humble brag, I was not expecting to be that big hit that it is. And it really has been a big hit. Lisa says, I love Humble Brag, but I only watched a couple of episodes. I can't keep up with watching all the stuff, which is my thing too. Bye, Christina. Yeah. Yes. Nick James says, me too, Debbie. It's like, I'm like, is that really what I look like? Then I'm like, I'm Delulu. Am I Delulu? Yes, for sure. Oh, Christina says, I sold pharmaceuticals for 20 years. No way was I as smart as a doctor. I would get them to teach me, and my confidence went up. Oh my gosh, I love this. Ask for help. Most people really want you to succeed. I am going to read that again. And no matter what you're dealing with, and we all deal with something, ask for help. Most people really want you to succeed. And I'll tell you something, all of us chumpettes want you to succeed. We really do. Sorry. Obviously, I know the person that sent me the message, so, it hits me. Ask for help. Okay, sorry. Okay, I want to talk about this 14-year-old that passed away. This was a former Yankees player, Brett Gardner. I'm not into baseball at all. The story came out that he and his family were on vacation. I assume spring break, no idea. He's got 2 boys. This is his youngest kid, 14. And it came out that a couple of them had gotten food poisoning. I'm like, oh my God, like maybe he actually died from food poisoning. It doesn't sound like that's what he died from. Now it's come out he had so much carbon in him, carbon monoxide. So now I'm worried about going to a resort and not having a functioning carbon monoxide detector. Like you don't smell carbon monoxide. You can die from it. He was 14 years old on vacation and their son dies. Like, wow. That's crazy. I mean, I know we can't worry about every little thing that can happen. Okay, so my friend Ashley, who does a TikTok account and an Instagram account called the Bravo Mom, Ashley, she made a video that I saw this morning about taking a carbon monoxide detector with you on vacation. I'm like, oh my God, like I can't imagine. So I know Mayboo says that's happened several times in the UK in holiday homes. So I realize carbon monoxide is it more of a thing with like heaters? I guess I see that more when people have a heater inside their house, or they have the what do you call it? The thing that keeps your electricity on, like during a storm, and they keep it in the house. They don't have good ventilation. I mean, how terrifying. Okay, Lisa says you can get something to plug in at Home Depot or wherever that lets you know if you have a leak or not. There are so many things to keep up with, literally. Michael Riley says, I've had 2 carbon monoxide indicators on my house. I've always had them. Yeah, I think I have at least 2. And we recently, a generator, thank you. We recently, a couple of years ago, changed out our smoke detectors to be the 10-year ones. I think they're ones where you don't change the batteries, but the batteries are supposed to last 10 years. I don't know, some new thing. Y'all do? It never even dawned on me. Meg says we take a portable carbon monoxide monitor with us on vacation. Some Airbnbs don't have them and some hotels don't either. Oh my God. Okay, that's terrifying. I mean, not wow. Like, wait, what? I know. Well, is it because he's 14? Isn't carbon monoxide, it has to build up in your system? Isn't that why like little kids often die first or have it or they get sick? Margaret said, why is my, I thought I was having a rash. Something was scratchy right there. Margaret says, that sounds suspicious. Why didn't any of the other family members have carbon monoxide? But remember, okay, so when they thought they had food poisoning, maybe they actually were each having the carbon monoxide poisoning and they thought it was food poisoning. Oh my God. Sarah says, thanks for reminding me. I need to get a new one. See, it is a reminder. Yes, D-Dot said generators are dangerous if you don't know how to operate. I feel like living in the South, there's a lot of people that have in-home generators in their house. So that's a gas thing. But then they have, portable generators that they bring inside the house. And there's always someone after a tornado or after a hurricane or after they lose power or at Christmas time, they bring the heater in and they don't have it properly ventilated. Is your water heater gas? I mean, should I be embarrassed to say I have no idea? I have no idea. I think it is. Yes, I think it is gas because I think our pool is to heat my pool is on gas also. I don't think they were on a boat though. Wait, what are y'all talking about? Bev, don't even remind me. My husband let me know an approximate amount that we've lost in the stock market the other day. And he said, well, good thing we're not retiring anytime soon. We don't need that money. Bev said, the stock market is keeping me away from my wonderful QVC. If you haven't looked at your 401k today or your retirement numbers, don't. Like it won't make you happy. Matter of fact, I don't want to go home and see that, go downstairs and look and see what I had. Oh, yeah, it makes sense, right? Meg says they all had the carbon monoxide poisoning. That's the sign, headache and throwing up. So they all thought that they had food poisoning. Michael Riley says, don't look at your retirement money. Okay. More sad news. Teddi Mellencamp. I obviously knew when she announced that she had brain tumors, that they were doing surgery. This is all they think related to the melanoma skin cancer that she's been battling for a couple of years now, letting us know about. I must have missed a beat because the last thing I saw was her getting crap for riding a horse. I'm like, girl, let her ride a horse. Like, she's fine. And then her like talking about dating and like being on the apps or something. I'm like, girl, date, do whatever you need to do. But now there's some story saying that she had just recently said that she had beaten cancer. Okay, that's the story that I missed. It spread to her lungs and I believe her lymph nodes. Like, what are we talking about that she had beaten cancer? If it has spread in your body and you have not had your treatments yet to hopefully shrink that and make this cancer cells go away, I don't know when the story came out that she had beaten cancer. Now the story is that they had found 4 more small tumors in her brain after an emergency MRI. Now she's talking about like preparing her family and her children for when she's not here one day. Yeah. Right? I didn't hear about the part of her saying that she had beaten cancer because I would have went back and reread, wait a minute, it's in your lungs. Like it is spread, it is metastasized. That makes it a whole different level. You know what I mean? Not always. Michael Riley says if it goes to your lymph nodes, it's over because my brother, thank goodness, at 37 was diagnosed with stage 4 rectal cancer. He is now going to be 55 years old this year. So he is fine, but he's a miracle because it went into his liver. They had to what's the fancy word they use? Not excise. They cut off the bad liver. Anyways, they did that. It was in his lymph nodes and it was stage 4. And thank goodness he's back. Yeah, or he's fine. Deborah says it sounds like it's fast growing. That's a lot. And the fact that they didn't see these 4 small brain tumors before this emergency MRI, like they were just in her brain. I'm sure they had done lots of MRIs and stuff. Cauterized. Well, is that what they call it here? Cauterized the liver. It's another word. If y'all think of it, let me know. Because my mom also had it done. She had part of her liver cut off. But whatever the word is for when you have liver cut off. Yeah. Oh, Jen says she thought she had beaten cancer when she got the melanoma surgery removed from her back. Oh, I thought they were saying I thought in between. I thought she was saying she had beaten the cancer of this brain cancer. Yeah, Nick James says Teddy confirmed stage 4 cancer. I thought I had already beaten it. So I think she means the melanoma, right? Because they did confirm, I think, by doing biopsies. Basically, if it metastasized, in other words, it spread, sometimes you can have breast cancer tissue and then you have, I'm making all this up, lung cancer tissue and 2 different cancers. They know by the cells. But if it's metastasized, they have already figured out, oh, this is the same cancer from, I'm pointing because it was on her back, from the melanoma that it spread to her brain, right? Resection. That's exactly what it's called. Resection of the liver. Thank you, Real Broad Housewife. Anyway, so yeah, it can definitely be bad. Oh, Joetta says, I have stage 4 metastatic cancer and I'm doing great. Diagnosed last year after thinking I had sciatic back pain. Wow. Wow. Isn't it? I mean, I'm so glad to hear you're doing well, for one thing, the main thing. But isn't it, it's scary how you think, oh, it's this, and maybe I don't need to go to the doctor because maybe they're just going to, help my back. And then it actually ends up being stage 4 cancer. So that's scary. Do not take our health for granted ever, right? Do not. Jill says my father-in-law died of this. My father-in-law died of this. Once it metastasizes, it went to the lungs and the brain. It was a 5 or 6 month, but I also have a friend who had the infusions cure her. Every cancer has such a different, thankfully, with research, I don't understand why cancer isn't cured yet. I wish it was. Pray that it is very soon. But I wish that I do like that all the research that comes out, and now with the computers and how we can share data from country to country, and this person having a very specific cancer in this country, and then someone way across the country world can have that same cancer, and then what their treatments are, and if they lived or not, and what their side effects were. We can now share all of that information. So that is going to help immensely for sure. That's true. Joetta says, don't ignore the little things. Know your body. What's scaring me about my feet? Get your skin checked annually, Jen Helen says. I go every June. Every June. And as you'll know, my last appointment, remember, it was somewhere around here. See, now you can't even see it. I had a piece of skin that just kept, it would dry up and I would peel it off and it would flake off, and then it would dry up and I would peel off. So I just kind of mentioned it to her. Well, she immediately was like, oh yeah, those are the kinds of things that you need to have looked at. So she didn't do a biopsy on that, but she prescribed me, and I can show y'all what it is again. It's a compound. Oh, well, there's another issue I've got is my what's it called? Myxoid cyst that I need to go to hand surgeon for. Anyways, when I put up my finger, that reminded me of that. Anyways, it was this compounded pharmacy lotion. I can take a picture and post it on my Instagram and YouTube for you. Again, it's basically, you put it on your face, however much she tells you to. Now I'm only doing it like every 2 to 4 weeks when I remember. I did it the other day. But it basically eats. So if you had if this was precancerous cells, before they do a biopsy, this was a way to put it all over your face, especially this area. No, I think I only put it on that area to begin with. And if it was precancerous, it eats it away. So the fact that it disappeared let me know that that was a precancerous spot. So Yes, Bev says the insurance companies must love you. Yeah. I took one of my kids to the dermatologist the other morning because there's three things. If you have asthma, eczema, and something else, you're kind of prone to just weird skin things. So they were having hives every once in a while. We could not figure out, we could not isolate the reason or the cause of the hives. So go to get a dermatology appointment. It was like 4 minutes in the thing. She prescribed this lotion from the doctor that we went and got, or from the pharmacy, a steroid basically. And she also wanted her to go on take Zyrtec every day for 4 weeks to see if that would like clear up her immune system with that stuff. I think that's all she gave her. Oh, she was also having asthma. So she was also having a stuffy nose, remember? So we were doing the Flonase. Anyways, there's one called Symptomist. It's like an easier Flonase. Anyways, we go to check out. Like I said, the appointment was like 4 minutes. And she was like, oh, that'll be $223. I was like, oh, only? She goes, well, at least it goes towards your deductible. And I'm like, yeah. It was either 223 or 228. I don't even remember. Seriously. Well, Lisa says, I never really knew why Teddy Mellencamp got all of the hate. I mean, people said she was boring. I don't ever want to give her hate for, don't forget, she just got caught cheating too with her horse instructor, her kid's horse instructor. So, she's going through divorce, going through all that, but she got hate basically because of, people said she was boring on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I guess the whole Nepo situation, her dad being, John Mellencamp, but let's face it, she is her and Two T's in a Pod, her and Tamara's podcast are very successful. I don't know anything about her other company don't forget, she was on Jeff Lewis Live with the accountability coaching stuff. You know what I mean? Yes, Jordy says it's horrible about Teddy, and I pray it's not as bad as she says, because I suspect a lot of it is all about getting her husband back. Wait, really? Oh, no, I don't feel that way at all. I don't think she's trying to get Edwin back. D. Dot says, I always enjoyed Teddy. Lisa says, I knew where John Mellencamp lived, and I would drive through Seymour, Indiana on my way to Bloomington. Awesome. Yeah, Jill says, Teddy just wasn't a good housewife, but no hate. You know what I mean? Sarah says, I think the accountability coach thing doesn't sit well with some people. It might seem preachy if you don't get it. Well, it just seemed very extreme. It was like, take a picture of my food, eat 1,200 calories, it's all the things we know to do. Some things are just harder or, easier on other people. You know what I mean? Anyways, one more thing on Andy Cohen Live, Anderson Cooper accidentally called him. And Andy was like, hey, you're live on the radio. He giggled. I love Anderson Cooper. So they are leaving for Disney World in about a week and a half, take their little kids. And Andy Cohen had just learned that there's like DILFs of Disney World, and, people were and he's like, oh, only you would know about that. Anyways, it was really cute. I love Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen together so much. Like, I can only dream of them like getting together romantically, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. Oh, you're not wrong. Dee says accountability and cheating definitely don't go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Oh, that's true. Sarah says, like everyone says, Ozempic has not been good for Teddy's business. I just found, I don't even know why. Somehow I came across a video of Erica Jane on Watch What Happens Live saying that she had fixed her hormones. And I'm like, you can't fault her because she is lying, but she's not. It's also like the only people that ever really have the only housewives that are admitted to using Ozempic or semaglutide are the New Jersey girls. Jen Fessler has admitted it openly. I think Margaret Josephs was one of the first for years. I think Dolores was one of the first to admit it. So, but she's not lying. She's just, it's like Megan Trainor recently was like, oh, I learned out I was working out wrong. I learned out running was causing my body to be inflamed. Emily Simpson admitted it. You're right. Emily was one of the first two. And she admitted to using it for a month. So anyways, a month doesn't really help. You know what I mean? That doesn't really jumpstart you. Trust me. And now, yes, Jen Helen says Megan Traden just came out as saying she's taken Mounjaro. She basically said something and said, thanks to Mounjaro. And you know, I guess it's just the lying about it. I don't know, but I guess that's a good way to get around it, because ultimately, if you don't want to admit, and I know so many of y'all have DM me questions on Instagram and TikTok that I've answered about the weight loss medication. And a lot of you don't want to let people know that you're on it. I've been an open book because I just can't lie about things. For me, I would rather help someone and at least let them not feel bad. Like, oh, I'm just eating healthy. And well, I am, but I also have a medication going in my body. Matter of fact, in less than an hour, because we do it every day, every Thursday at 5 p.m., that helps me. It adds hormones, which is the GLP-1s that are naturally in our gut, that help us to slowly digest the food, helps us tell the brain, hey, you're already full, don't keep eating. So she's not lying. It is hormones that is fixing her. But you can also say, oh, I'm just eating less. Well, you are, because it makes you feel full faster and longer. So you're not lying. So there's ways to tell the truth and still take the weight loss shot if you want. I just can't imagine. Dana Maria says it's no longer all about the base. Well, and who is it? Who is the housewife? Geez, Louise. The one that was always a little bit overweight. And she was like, oh, I look what I look and I love how I look. And she was like, oh, freaking Heather Gay from Salt Lake City. Everyone's saying, oh, you're letting us know what real women look like. She was like, look, I wasn't happy being that size. I didn't want to be the spokesperson for the average size or the overweight woman. Like, I am on Ozempic now and I'm happy to be on that. I'm happy to be the skinny girl. So wait, you did? You did not. You made a TikTok reel? Lisa says, don't forget, I'm so proud of myself. I have my first TikTok reel out. Lisa loves dogs. So go follow Lisa Loves Dogs. That is Lisa from Kentucky on here as a chumpette. Oh my God, is it your puppies? Puppies do really well. Like I watch lots of dog videos, so you should. Heather says, whether you take medication or use willpower does make me think more of you one way or another. I agree. I mean, I feel bad for myself that I didn't have the willpower. Trust me, I was always beating myself up if I failed the day, or if I had this big dessert, or if I ate 3 servings of ice cream. Trust me. So, but I'll always be honest, because I want other people to not feel bad that they're not able to make healthier choices. I am able to make healthier choices and to eat less because of this medication. So it helped me. Kim says, I think Oprah coming out about it changed everyone's attitude. I can't tell you how much I've recommended everyone that DMs me the Oprah special to watch. It's an hour with commercials. So in actuality, it's all about 45 minutes maybe. Heather says, I believe in the medication. Sarah says, but that's why people lie. But that's why it's bad when people lie. Everyone feels worse that they don't have the willpower. Exactly. Lisa Loves Dogs is all caps on TikTok. Anyways. Well, we are going to wrap it up, but we are going to be back at it again tomorrow. So don't worry. We've gone an hour and 7 minutes. So we always have plenty to talk about. Make sure if you're on YouTube that you are hitting the thumbs up button, that you are subscribed, that you are commenting. I really appreciate it. All helps me to get more people just like us to join us every day. If you're over on TikTok, please be tapping the screen. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for joining, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Bye, chumpettes. Yes, definitely a fun talk. So much to chat about. Lisa says, I've got to figure out how to put my dog videos out there. You're going to love them. The girl at the dentist did my reel, not me. Girl, I'm going to teach you everything. Anything I know, I'm going to teach it to you. Okay, bye, Chumpets. Bye, Instagram.